Hello. I'm going to try something a little bit different this week because I wasn't getting anywhere with planning a video. I'm just going to take the topic and talk to you. I've got a cup of coffee. So what I want to talk about this week is coming out. I'm going to talk specifically about coming out as asexual. It's been quite difficult for the asexual community. I've only been a part of it for the past couple of years, and yet in that time I've already seen massive change in how asexuals are treated and whether or not they're considered part of the queer umbrella. For example, when I was about 16, I made a little comic strip which was about my experience as passing for a non-asexual person. I mean, it was just a little comic. My art wasn't exactly the best and I didn't really phrase what I wanted to say all that well, but I got some backlash for that. It was weird actually. I got an anonymous message telling me that I shouldn't use the term passing and that I was appropriating it for actual LGBT people. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is there used to be a similar prejudice against asexual people using the term coming out. The idea was you didn't have to come out as asexual in the same way you don't have to come out as heterosexual. But I mean, let's just take for granted that you can come out as asexual, because you can, and talk a little bit about what that means. I first came out as asexual to one of my close friends, and it was less a matter of coming out and more a matter of sending him a message like, oh my god, I think I'm asexual, here's why. The first person I would say I came out to in the more traditional sense was my little sister. And her first response was asking me if I was going to break up with my boyfriend at the time. That was because she didn't quite understand the term, didn't quite understand the distinction between asexual and aromantic. I mean, I did eventually break up with him because I was asexual, but that was more about figuring out my own identity and being alone to do so. I suppose I don't like coming out in the traditional big spectacle sense. I just tell people in passing and leave them to deal with it. I found if I act like it's not a big deal, they act like it's not a big deal. It can be really hard to come out as asexual because the first thing that happens is people ask you what it means, or they ask for specifications of what you are and aren't willing to do, or they just react with disbelief or tell you it's not a real thing, which hurts. I mean, part of the reason I made that the person who sent you this as asexual video is so you could send it to people so you didn't have to do all that explaining. I suppose it's worth mentioning that I don't think coming out is necessary. I don't think you have to come out to anyone. I think your sexual orientation is completely your own business. I mean, the only situation where it could be worth mentioning is if you're in a romantic relationship and you are uncomfortable with sex and you want to make sure your partner knows that that's off the table. But that's, again, more about sexual preferences than sexual orientation, you know? You don't even have to say, look, I'm asexual. You can say, look, I don't want this relationship to lead to sex. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on the topic of coming out. Don't really have anything else to say this video except thanks for watching and subscribe. Maybe. Got over 100 now and I'm really pleased. Thank you. Bye.